Hello, my name is Doris Hampton, and I'm with the Institute of Sathya Sai Education, USA. My colleagues and I will be sharing information with you on a program, Sathya Sai Education and Human Values, whose acronym is SSEHV. This is a human values-based character development program for youth, adults, all of us. And it can be used in community organizations, schools, universities, workplace, and any venue that you can imagine. So the base of this program is the basic universal human values of truth, right action, peace, love, and nonviolence. And this program is a lifelong process of transformation, and its aim is to strengthen the awareness of who we are as human beings and our connections between ourselves, our families, society, and all of creation. And it's designed to use a holistic approach to develop and nurture one's innate potential and human goodness. Its philosophy, Educare, is derived from Educare, which means to draw out or elicit that which is already within. And the aims are to bring about a holistic transformation based on increased self-awareness and self-inquiry, and to inspire personal and social development, and to strengthen the development of good character in all of us. The basic premises of the program are all people are innately good and have profound holistic potential that can be brought out, nurtured, and developed. If these innate human qualities are truly nurtured and practiced, then every individual on this earth will be a better human being and also a better citizen of this world of ours. So we're learning to recognize and acknowledge the good qualities we already have, to activate and strengthen and nurture these good qualities, and practice in all our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Nelson Mandela, in his inaugural address, used a quote from by Marianne Williamson that states, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure, and it's our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us." So, and it goes on to state that your playing small doesn't serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so other people won't feel insecure around you. We are born to manifest the goodness that is within us. And it's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we consciously give others permission to do the same. So as we are liberated from our own fears, our presence automatically liberates others. Beautiful quote. The founder of this program states that you have huge capacities hidden in you and waiting to be tapped and used. You have many talents which have to be brought to the light. You all are all good at gathering information about what goes on in all corners of the world. Let me ask you, are you aware of what happens in the corner of your mind? Do you answer to the simple question, or do you know the answer to the simple question, who am I? Why have you not let this important question be answered? Earnestly ask this of yourself and seek out the answers to the question from within yourself. Sathya Sai, the founder of this program. All humans are born with what we call life force or consciousness, which is common to everyone. This animates our being, causes us to breathe, our minds to think, our hearts to beat. And this consciousness or life force is what makes us human and is the basis of the 5 human values that I've previously mentioned: truth, right action, peace, love, and nonviolence. Thus, these values are innate in all human beings, regardless of age or race or ethnicity, background, gender, everything. And these values are the core of our very being. And this is who we are. This is who we are. And this is the philosophy of Sathya Sai Education and Human Values. The innate goodness is in every human being. And it's our job to work to bring this out and to manifest it. And this is what SSEHB does. It gives us the tools to go beyond the darkness that each of us carry in one form or another via anger, hatred, greed, jealousy, and so on and so forth. And it helps us, the program helps us manifest the power of the goodness within us. And that power of that good helps to diminish and get rid of the darkness, so our goodness can shine forth in all of its pristine glory. So we also talk about the concept of head, heart, and hands, and the practical application of the human values. And that's learning to, all the thoughts that come into the head, us learning to take that through the heart, the seat and home of the human values, and use that as a filter before we do an output, because we want our output to be helping and have helping hands and any other organs of action to be helping and to do good, rather than bypassing the heart, and have hurting hands or hurting organs of action. We want to make sure that we're helping and doing good, not hurting ourselves or others. So the purpose for SSCHB is for us to discover who we truly are and to be an inspiration to others to do the same. The courses are for the program are tailored to any given venue, and the courses will guide learning of the intricacies of the 5 human values and their many aspects, and them being the core of all of us, every human being. How self-reflection and practice will lead to the manifestation and practice of the values, the human values in thought, word, and actions in our moment to moment in our daily lives, and how to work with others in igniting the manifestation of the human values. And the methodology, we use several methods. explicit lesson plans, which focuses on the value aspect, using 5 teaching techniques and the practical life application. And then also the other method, which can be a part of the explicit lesson plan, but also separate, finding ways to insert the values in everyday situations and seizing every learning and or teaching moment and developing constant awareness that we are these human values and their many, many aspects.
Values reflect the core and the heart of a person. In essence, values are the real stuff we're made of. Therefore, they are at least as important, although one could argue, far more important than technical, academic, and professional skills. These qualities, in fact, are the bedrock of good work attitudes, ethical behaviors, and good character. The SSCHV program's conviction is that innate goodness lies within all of us and is waiting to be ignited into action, provided the right tools and inspirations are present. To this end, the aim of the SSCHV program is to lay a strong human foundation that fosters love for all, a sense of purpose, respect for the land, moral quest, and inspires human excellence so that we can become positive catalysts towards the society's highest evolution and good. In the classroom, this process is known as Educare, which is Latin for bringing forth that which lies within, and the root word for education. Educare aims at developing students as fully integral human beings, physically, mentally, ethically, and spiritually. Through creative techniques such as inspirational stories, music, and a variety of hands-on activities, students come to understand that it is only when the feelings and aims are noble and when the head, heart, and hands act in unison, then the mind and the soul blossoms in harmony. The SSCHV program can be implemented under 2 methodologies, the indirect method and the direct method. Under the indirect method, the SSCHV can be implemented in any curriculum setting, and it is not an additional subject to the school's curriculum. Rather, in fact, SSCHV helps teachers unfold and manifest the necessary skills to guide students to their full potential by providing them a complete toolbox of ideas to seamlessly elicit and incorporate these values into their curriculums. For example, a teacher could include a value-based ideas in reading comprehension studies through stories of individuals or events that have greatly impacted the world. This process helps the students to think beyond, creative empathy, and instill a sense of responsibility for one's actions. All the while, the child reinforces its reading skills. Alternatively, the direct method is a formal SSCHV lesson that engages students in exploring a particular value or a set of related values in depth. Under this approach, the teacher implements a variety of specific and sequential techniques that outlined in the SSCHV program to provide a comprehensive understanding of the values in question. This method can be delivered as a standalone lesson, school clubs, or after-school programs, or even as an individual subject. As an elementary school teacher and a principal, I have implemented this program and its various methods in my classroom for over 20 plus years. In fact, in my experience, I find my students embracing these values readily and in a very natural way, almost second nature. Over the years, these interactive sessions have given my students a sense of awareness, accountability, and a responsibility with each other, in turn creating a palpable, harmonious atmosphere with individuals who take care of one another with love and respect. Above all, and what's most beautiful, is that over time, the students gain such understanding and passion for these values that they begin creating and presenting their very own direct lessons. Actually, many of these students have further carried their understanding of these values and lessons into their respective middle school and high schools, resulting in broader program adoptions and school-wide recognition. It is worth noting that the SSEHV program is implemented in schools and communities globally. This truly is a universal and timeless program that can be started as early as 6 years of age. We extend most loving invitation to all educators to experience this invaluable program, joining us in nurturing our children into strong, value-based citizens and help us transform our society into its highest calling.
Holistic development is the basis of human excellence. World Health Organization defines health as a physical, mental, and social well-being, not merely the absence of the disease or infirmity. And as a pediatrician, I really experiences that every day. For the normal development of the child, human values are the basis. A lot of neuroscience research shows that our human brain is basically wired for goodness and expression of gratitude, compassion, and love for one another. But what happens is the child is growing. For example, when I see the newborn babies, they are a bundle of joy. They are peaceful. But what happens as they develop, by the time they're 2 years old, the environment makes a lot of changes in their brain wiring. And by the time they're 2 years old, they're violent. They bite and kick, and they even hit and bang their head. So that's why we call them as terrible twos. These are all happening because be it a home environment or daycare or whoever is a caretaker, and the media especially in this decade. Everyone has cell phones, computers, video games, and even though the child is not using those directly, the indirect environment, it affects their brain overall development. So by the time they're 2, they are definitely picking up all these negative qualities. As Ms. Hampton had mentioned earlier, we are all born as good human beings, but integrated with values. But even by the time 2 years of age, the environment plays a major role. But as the children are growing in this era of electronics, as we develop more and more in electronically, it definitely affects their physical well-being, mental well-being, and social and spiritual well-being as well. Following the human values is kind of the basis of treatment for any physical or mental ailments. Normally, we measure the physical growth by the height, weight, and we address that as a body mass index. Whenever a child comes for physical exam, we talk about their physical growth. And we talk about the mental development. We do the developmental screening, intelligent quotient, and all those things, we talk about it. But what about the spiritual growth? So holistic approach towards health is the mind, body, and spirit development. So the spirit is expressed as self-respect, self-confidence, self-awareness. So that is the expression of spiritual development, which normally we don't really measure. So as we are all aware, especially after this pandemic, we are coming across so much of mental health issues, especially depression, anxiety, and attention deficit hyperactive disorder. As you're all aware, as a teacher, every one of you must be having some children in the classroom. It's very hard to handle these issues without addressing the basic innate goodness in the child. And as we are all aware, as we are talking about this human values, every child is born with innate goodness in them. But what happens? Is it the overall environment that makes a huge difference in the holistic development of the child? It's like a three-sided triangle. It's a facet. The basis is that the child, but there are two sides to the triangle, the parenting and the teaching. So that plays a major role in molding the development of the child. So parenting and the teaching has to be integrated with human values in whatever simple activities they do. It has to be integrated with human values. For example, physical development, we come across a lot of obesity. So if the child is obese, they don't feel like doing anything, they're disinterested, and the obesity has a lot of comorbidities. It comes with the behavioral issues as well. And yet another important issue we come across is constipation in school-going children. So they're not able to pay attention in the classroom. All these, even basic physical ailments, can be addressed associated with the human values. For example, obesity comes with the lack of physical activity or bad eating habits. So be it at home or at school, it is our responsibility to make sure that the child has healthy food available in their eyesight. Because with the media, they're constantly bombarded with all the advertisement, with the junk food. They are constantly bombarded with the sugary substances. So it is the responsibility of the adult and also create the awareness to take care of themselves, what is good, making them aware constantly to pick the right thing, doing the right action, and being truthful to themselves. Being active, that comes under self-love. That kind of gives them the peace of mind. So all these values are constantly integrated. As they are coming to the school, if the physical or the academic education is integrated with the human values awareness, then the byproduct is going to be beautiful holistic development of a child. Now let's come to the adolescent age group. As we are all aware, there are so many factors environmentally that can affect the development of the child. Peer pressure, obviously the education itself can sometimes becomes very stressful because of the so much of distractions from the environment. The child cannot focus, peer pressure, they're not able to connect with themselves initially, they're not able to connect with the outside world as well. That causes isolation leading to depression. And that is why the suicide rate is really high among adolescent age group. And usually when children come to the clinic with behavioral issues or learning problems or even depression, I talk to them about these human values very indirectly. I usually talk to them about gratitude. Having gratitude and having self-respect to their own body, that is very important to prevent any kind of bad behaviors like smoking, high-risk sexual behavior. All those things can be addressed by making them aware of these human values. So this academic excellence should be integrated with the human excellence. Educating the mind without educating the heart is not good education at all. And even Sathya Sai Baba mentions that end of education is character.